And then the final line in this movie, I mean, I love it. Like, I think we have it.
Yeah.
And then they turns the slate. I think we have it.
And then he points out in the commentary that obviously we know what happens to the real Murnau. He became a big name in Germany and then an even bigger name in America, sculpting almost techniques will be used still to this day. But he said, and the fictional Murnau, you're watching him. Is he going crazy? Like, is he like, you're not quite sure what happens to him? And he's like, Malkovich wanted to give an open interpretation. Like, is he full madness, or is he realizing what he did was a mistake? So if you watch the ending again, he kind of looks around a little bit like, did I do a mistake? Is this genius?
He's got to go to jail.
Well, yeah, he killed 3 guys.
And then the vampire burnt, correct? So there's no vampire left. So people go in there and they see dead bodies.
And a burnt corpse. I think it's pretty legit. Like, I'd be like, all right, well, this guy's he's done.
A vampire did it.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Show us the proof. Here's the video. Oh, yeah, one of those moving pictures. Yeah, right. I'll believe that.
I mean, I guess the financiers see it and it's released. I mean, that's what they're saying about this movie. So, I mean, that this movie got made, they're saying that the movie hit theaters, I would say. Does that make sense?
Talking about Nosferatu?
Yeah. So Malkovich's movie, in this movie, Shadow of the Vampire, the movie they filmed was released.
Yeah, in the Shadow of the Vampire reality.
Yeah.
Yes, it would have been. Yeah.
The financier, I mean, a good story.
Yeah, I mean,
this idiot director found a vampire. The vampire killed everyone. It's a great movie.
Who cares about the director? This movie's phenomenal.
It's like the world's first snuff film. They couldn't talk about that then. I mean, the
1922, I mean...
Well, you know what? Hays Code didn't exist. I mean, like, some of those movies pre-code, and this is Germany.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that came out that were just kind of whatever, yada yada, that came out. An interesting thing about that was that the original Nosferatu, as we all know, the story about that was that it was a ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, even the opening credits, he's like, it says Dracula, and it says based on Bram Stoker's book. And then, of course, Bram Stoker's widow was like, no. Mm-hmm. And then she thought that motion pictures were complete garbage, as a lot of people did in those days. So she sued him and Albin Grau to have this movie destroyed. So they had to. And I forget the name of their production company. Oh, sorry, Prada Studios. She sued the bejesus out of them in 1924. And a part of the deal was that they had to destroy all negatives of this movie. So how do we know what Nosferatu even is, right?
Yeah.
Because there was 2 copies that were shipped off randomly that Murnau didn't even know existed up until he died. But maybe Albin knew. Who knows? But there was one in France, and the other one was in the Netherlands. And that's why we have this movie. And then they had to do translations for American audience. But that's literally the reason why we have it. And that's the reason why it's in such crappy condition every time you watch it, was because they didn't really know that they had it up until, I forget when it was like the 60s, or maybe it was the 70s. They didn't realize that they actually had Nosferatu, and they're like, ha ha!
Sweet.
They had it. And
covered in dust.
Quite literally. So, if you see a good version of Nosferatu, hats off to you. Because
there's not many of them.
No, there really wasn't, and they didn't take good care of him at all. For
it's like
literally decades.
You know, Event Horizon. They found the extra footage that they shot, but it was in a Transylvanian salt mine.
That's nuts. It's like, how did it get there?
And the footage isn't good enough to be added into the film. So a lot of film isn't that well taken care of. It's kind of nuts.
Of course, well, because they weren't expecting it to even survive. And not only that, but the film footage, a lot of the films were, the film was flammable. That's explained in Inglourious Basterds. That's true. It really was.
Put it in a salt mine then.
So then they put it in there. They would stash these anywhere. But Elias makes a very good point in saying in the commentary that you will think about all these beautiful films that were shot and eventually destroyed. Yep. They had to be, and we will never ever know about them ever. Mm-mm. And it's like it's interesting, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's like there's certain people that have only seen these, and they that's it.
Yeah.
But
who knows what catches on fire? A factory catches on fire. The prints are gone.
And you've heard about the what was it, like last year? Whenever the
master recordings.
Oh god. Yeah. And like all those from Bill Haley and the Comets, and
all the Fog Hat.
It's just all these wonderful songs that you'll never ever have remastered again.
Hey, so now that we're moving on, do you have a recommendation for us? So we have a Chris Kelly recommendation.
Oh yeah. Before we do the recommendations, just want to say, if you do want to watch Shadow of the Vampire, it's on Vudu, Tubi, and Amazon Prime. Or you can go, if you live in Atlanta, you can go see my buddies over at Videodrome. $5 gets you a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Videodrome, go rent commentaries.
That's what I did. Actually, what's interesting is when I first rented this movie, because we were going to record this podcast a little while ago, and then I got booked on a movie. I rented it, and then I had to go out of town. I didn't get a chance to return the movie again, so I had a pretty big late fee. When I came back, and I was like, damn it. And then I had to return it. And then I rented it again. And the guy, when he went to go punch up my name, he's like, man, you already rented this and you had a huge late fee on it. All right, whatever. I was like, yep. It was really cool too, because I was like, hey, could you recommend any movies for me? Because I was like, I want to see some horror films. It was like, as of this recording, it's a few weeks before Halloween. So I was like, I want to rent a few horror films I had never heard of. So he referenced some really out there horror films that I have never heard of.
Which ones?
The one I watched was, oh, damn it. It was like The Devil Rides On. The Devil Rides Out was the one that I had rented because I had never heard of it. And then he said, this is Christopher Lee as the protagonist.
Like, nice.
Whoa. So I was like, I have to see this movie, but it's pretty good. I watched it again this morning. It's part of the whole 1960s era where a lot of horror films that were coming out were about Satanists. So like every other horror film that came out in the 60s to early 70s was all about these Satanist cults or cults in general. But Christopher Lee plays a guy who's trying to save someone else's soul as opposed to being the cult leader, which is what you would expect. But he still has that iconic voice and presence. So like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah. It's just kind of funny.
He's going to kill somebody any second.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, yes, now we will go save them.
Yeah, like, right. Where's the heel turn?
Yeah. It's a great movie, and it gets really good reviews on every platform you go to. There was another one, Mr. Sardonicus was the other one that he had told me to rent.
Nice.
So I rented that one as well. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, so I can't say anything about it.
Awesome.
But yeah, on to my recommendations. Yeah. Sorry. I only have one for this for Shadow of the Vampire, and it's called One Cut of the Dead. It came out in 2017. It's streaming on Shudder right now. It's a Japanese zombie horror comedy. It's not really, in the first 37 minutes, you don't really know what you're watching. It's basically starts out as a guy who's trying to make a low budget zombie movie, and it's all one cut, which I was blown away with because I was about 10 minutes into this movie and I was like, they haven't jumped to another cut yet. So it's all the beginning of the first 37 minutes is found footage, quotes, of them making this movie. The director going bonkers on his actor, saying like, you need more screaming, more blood. And he's like, cut. You don't know what you're doing. You're an idiot. Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, hey, chill out. I was like, no, you chill out. And they go off by themselves. So it's like the two actors and the makeup artist just sitting there chilling. And they're talking about their everyday lives. What are your hobbies? Blah, 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 blah. And then the guy goes out to have a smoke. And then he gets attacked by a real zombie. He's like, what the hell? And then he gets his arm bit off, goes back inside, and they're like, oh, cute. This is really cute. So now you're a zombie? It's the AD who went out for a smoke, and he comes back in. They're like, oh, now you're a zombie? That's cool. Awesome. I can't wait to use you. And they're like, oh, no, wait. And they're like, your arm's missing. And they go to pat his side, like, oh, obviously you have your arm strapped to your side. And they're like, I don't feel his other arm. Oh my God, it's a real zombie.
Nice.
It's a full on zombie attack. And it's like, they're going after the zombies. Zombies are coming after them. The director is like, yes, more blood, more carnage. It's so funny because he like pops out of nowhere and he's like, and action. And he's like screaming at the people. And then they get into a fight. And then the actress then starts like, she loses her shit. And she's like, oh, I can't stand this anymore. She's takes the axe, slams it into the director's head. It's bloody, funny, and then the real movie takes place.
Oh, wow.
So then that's when you're like, awesome. And then I'll just do a quick setup. Basically, they cut from that, and then it says, I think it's 1 month prior. And then this guy who's like kind of like a director of commercials, promos, he meets with this company, and this company's like, hey, look, we want to do a movie about zombies, but we want it to be one cut. And he's like, that's extremely difficult to do. And she's like, we know, but we think that you can pull it off. And he's like, why do you think me? And they're like, well, even if you mess it up, it doesn't matter anyways, right? And he's like, okay. Because it's almost like it's talking about reality.
Yeah.
The real director was kind of a subpar director. So he decided to make this movie to show that he could do a movie. So then the movie's about the buildup of this. Like he's renting out the crew. He's writing out the script and then the layout. And then the actual movie is about the making of that movie that you just saw the first 37 minutes of. And it is really funny, really violent. And if you work in film like Mark and I do, it's great. There's so many great shots. Like, you're just like, that's exactly how you do it. Oh my God, that's so cool. So then you see the behind the scenes people. One of my few favorite shots was whenever they'd see the hand that the AD is ripped off of. You know, the guy comes running in. Oh no, it's a head. When they chop the head off the body. Sorry. They're like, oh my God, we need to find the head. Where's the head? Where's the head? They're like, They jump into the pile of body parts, pull the head up. There's the guy, one of the zombies sleeping. And they're like, dude, you're up next. He's like, what? Like, get your ass out there. Get on your mark. He's like, crap. And he goes running out. They pick up the head, running full force across the parking lot. And then the door bursts open. So they're supposed to have the head there. Door bursts open. They do like this tuck and roll underneath the camera and throw the head up. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what it, and it brings out so many great memories of working on set. And I was just like, oh my God, that's exactly how it goes down.
I gotta watch this.
Oh, and it's funny as hell. I mean, it's funny. It's violent.
Japanese?
Yeah, it's a Japanese movie. It was a very cheap movie too. It was made for $25,000.
Oh, wow.
And it made the equivalent of $25 million.
That's awesome. Have you watched Why Don't You Play in Hell?
No, I have not.
It's about filmmaking in Yakuza. A Yakuza wants to have something filmed, and it's violent.
Oh my God.
I think it might be on Shudder. It's streaming somewhere.
Sounds like a Shudder movie.
I bought it at a Blu-ray machine in an Alamo Draft House, and it's insane. But I love it. No, thanks for the recommendation, man. This was fun.
Oh yeah, that's the only one I have. But yeah,
it's perfect.
It was great. One Cut of the Dead. I recommend that one.
Hey, it's about movie making.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a good one.
Awesome. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Chris Mad Dog Kelly, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.